Thanks for checking out the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to see me play your deck, hang out with me in the amazing BoshNRoll community in Discord, access to my lists and sideboard guides before tournaments, book an individual coaching session, or just generally want to support what's going on here, check out the Patreon and YouTube membership options. For the finest Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, use code BoshNRoll for 10% off your order at coalesceapparel.shop. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. If you want to play what I'm playing, use my affiliate link to support the channel while you shop for cards at tcgplayer.com and play any deck anytime on Magic Online with a cardhoarder.com loan account. Thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I've got a wild deck for you. This thing is completely out of line. This is from Patreon subscriber and esports personality, Pastry Time. Anytime I see that Discord notification pop up from Pastry, I know something crazy is about to happen. He doesn't reach out with, 4-color control. He reaches out with some fever dream of every card that he could think of in a pile. And he did not disappoint this time either. This deck looks as crazy as it does because it's a Lutri deck. This is Food Chain Lutri. Every non-land card in your deck has to have a different name if you want Lutri to be your companion. So we got that going. And even among the lands, this is a Tainted Pact combo deck as well, which means that even the lands can't have the same name. They could, but you're adding additional risk to your deck. So this is a true 60 cards, 60 different cards, Highlander Legacy Magic deck. And believe it or not, I tamed this down significantly since it was sent to me first. It was originally a Food Chain deck and a Doomsday deck and a Reanimator deck. And I think there was other stuff going on now that my brain has deleted from memory. But I decided to get it under control a little bit and still play to the spirit of the thing, which is Food Chain Lutri. Those are all there. And dialed in on that interaction a little bit. The cantrip suite is just one of each cantrip that we're allowed to play. All the way down to Sleight of Hand, Protect the combo. We've got Duress, Inquisition, and Thoughtseize. Even a little Hymn to Turok for you. Those are fun to double with Lutri. They're also just reasonable spells to play. Got removal in Fatal Push, Abrupt Decay, Assassin's Trophy. Mana ramp that also is creatures for Food Chain in a full spread of mana dinguses here, all the way down to Elves of Deep Shadow. This is the cool thing about Highlander decks, is you end up playing cards like Elves of Deep Shadow and Sleight of Hand in Legacy, going real deep on that. And then we just filled in what we need to do to make a Food Chain deck work. Food Chain, of course, is the combo piece. I have Profane Tutor in the deck that can look for it. Earlier builds were deeper on tutors, like Witchclaw Talisman. I even considered Drift of Phantasms at one point. But we just ran out of deck space, honestly. Like the trick here is not turboing out Food Chain, but resolving Food Chain in a situation where you're not already dead, or that you have a snowball's chance in hell to defend it, or actually go off with it. Which meant that more interactive fair spells to fill out the thing, and then you sort of slide the Food Chain in when you're ready, rather than just always turn 4 or 5 of Food Chain. Profane Tutor, for that reason, is the one that got to stay. It's the most direct line to the Food Chain. For the cheapest mana, on the turn where you do your tutoring, you can immediately deploy the thing. So this is the one that got to stay. Manipulate Fate, my secret favorite card in a Food Chain deck. I don't know if that's even a secret if you've watched my channel or heard me talk about Food Chain at all. Search a library for 3 cards, exile them, then shuffle, and then draw a card. This is straight up draw 4 in a Food Chain deck. You exile Mist Hollow Griffin that you can cast from exile, Eternal Scourge, which you can cast from exile, and Squee the Immortal that you can cast from exile. Even in a Lutri shell, we still get to hit 3 monsters that can go infinite with Food Chain and be cast from exile. Love a Manipulate Fate. Our core here is the bug colors, Sultai. There's a little touch on red for some sideboard cards in Imperial Recruiter, but we're core bug, which means we get Baleful Strix and Icefang Coatl. Those are just reasonable Magic cards you can put in a deck that also feed Food Chain eventually. Aether Channeler, similar role. It's card advantage, it's mana under Food Chain. Endurance and Subtlety are pitch interaction that are also creatures for Food Chain. You see where this is going. Burrow, just goes in the deck. It's also, you guessed it, a creature for food chain. Also got Force of Will and Force of Negation in here, additional pitch interaction. Those are pretty happy to throw a Mistala Griffin into exile. Love making that play. It's like Force of Will, draw a card. Flusterstorm in here as well. A light counter package to back up the honestly pretty heavy discard package between him, Duress, Inquisition, and Thoughtseize. Got a lot going on there. Once we're doing food chain stuff with exiled creatures, Walking Ballista is the win condition. And we have Imperial Recruiter that can go get it. So that's like playing 2 Ballistas. Recruiter can also get Thassa's Oracle if we're going down the Thassa's Oracle Tainted Pact line instead. Tainted Pact, you can exile your whole deck. Thassa's Oracle wins the game if you don't have a deck. You see how that works. Spellseeker can tutor up the Tainted Pact, while Imperial Recruiter can tutor up the Oracle. There's also a cool self-contained line in specifically this build, where if you Lutri to copy Tainted Pact, and this is a 7-mana line, your mileage may vary, but if you cast Tainted Pact, copy it with Lutri. I'm going to go back and forth. Prepare to be driven crazy by all the different ways I say this word. But if you copy Tainted Pact, the copy resolves. You can flip cards till you hit Oracle, stop, put it in your hand, then flip the rest of your deck with the first Tainted Pact, and then cast the Oracle and win. There is a self-contained little 1-2 punch here, and we have a Lutri in the main deck and one as the companion. Your starting deck is your starting 60, not every card you've registered, so we do get 2 shots at the Lutri. That's the only card we have access to 2 of in the deck. And we're just a bug value deck outside of that. Snapcaster Mage, Lutri, we're going to be doubling discard spells, doubling cantrips, snapping back cantrips and discard spells. Is just a pretty normal deck that has this companion plus the combo out at the end. There's not really a bad or dead card in the deck. You could also just Tainted Pact fair and square, flip cards till you find your food chain, and hope that you still have enough cards to win the game. You could also just fair Tainted Pact and flip 2 or 3 cards, then find a Snapcaster, Baleful Strix, or whatever, and keep the party going. The last thing I want to say about this deck is, while I was rebuilding it, I had the thought of, can we play Olorin in this? It overlaps with Food Chain in a lot of ways because both of them want efficient creatures that you can throw into play and remove from play for value. But this deck space is so tight. This exactly 60 cards, and every one of them is dripping with purpose. And just to get the Olorin in, the minimum package required for Olorin here is the Olorin itself, a Cavern Harpy, and some way to win once we're there, like a Parasitic Strix or the whatever that wolf is that people play. And that's 3 slots in this deck. And whatever the drain thing is and the Olorin would be 2 of the worst slots in the deck. And I really built this thing that each of these cards plays on its own. And unfortunately, Olorin did not make the cut. And just to emphasize how much I thought about this list, like, this is not just a pile of 60 cards. I really did make an effort on this. Eternal Witness, I struggled a lot whether this should be Eternal Witness or Regrowth, because Regrowth is much better with Lutri and Snapcaster Mage and everything else, but Eternal Witness is better with Imperial Recruiter and Food Chain. Eternal Witness ended up getting the nod, but it was close. Really went into the weeds on this one. And that's this deck. It's completely crazy, and I hope we win some games with it. Let's go figure it out. Oh, I almost forgot to point out, we hit the perfect ratio accidentally. 20 lands, 20 creatures, 20 other cards in this deck. This is the gold standard of 1994 deck building, and this happened completely by accident. Didn't do it on purpose, but I'm taking it as a sign of something, that 60 different cards, 20. Richard Garfield would be proud of this one. Okay, let's go. I'm on the play in round 1. I've revealed my companion, so my opponent already knows there's some bullshit. And I'm going to keep this hand, which basic Swamp's kind of a beating. It doesn't cast Icefang Coatl or Thassa's Oracle. It does cast Abrupt Decay, and it gets me on the way to Uro. So let's do this thing. I'm going to lead on Zagoth Triumph and send it. This deck is one of those decks that really wants a fetch-heavy mana base, but you only get one of each fetch, and some of them don't make sense in the deck. So there's like 7 or 8 fetches in the deck, and they're pretty important. And this hand is a reason why. Yeah, my opponent just coming at me with the Wasteland. I was a little worried about that, but nothing I could do about it. Except draw more lands now. Let's go, deck. Too easy. I could play Bayou into the next Wasteland. That gives me a chance to play Icefang Coatl. I'm just going to lean in here. Because if I play Swamp, I'm giving up on Icefang Coatl for at least 2 more turns. And if they have a Wasteland on any of those subsequent turns, then it still stops my Icefang Coatl from functioning. Just no thanks. Like, you're not playing around Wasteland by playing Swamp here. Not Shuffle their Ponder. Ooh, okay. Well, let's hope they play a creature and not anything else. Give me something to Abrupt Decay and don't Wasteland me. Those are the deals I'm making with you right now. Okay, Volcanic Island. Counterbalance. It would be a shame if someone abruptly decayed that. I haven't made this play in a long time and it still feels as good as ever. Whammo. This used to be a format-defining interaction. When Abrupt Decay was printed, it just changed the texture of Counterbalance. Oh my god. There's still no blue mana here. That's in the graveyard. I guess I'll just put Lutri in my hand. Also, while I'm not doing anything else, I should decide how I'm going to pronounce this. Lutri is how I would just say this on the fly. I imagine my first read was like the U, Lutri. I say Luris, not Lurus. Why would I say Lutri? But that sounds fancier? I don't know. I'm going with Lutri. That's just easier for me. I don't know. Okay, the old Zagoth Triome into Jund game plan has executed here. Opponent exiled Brainstorm with EI. Honestly, if I find a blue source, like, soon, this hand unlocks in an insane kind of way. Getting Uro going here, unlocking Coatl, all of that matters a lot. Come on, blue source. Play this game. Yeah, easy money. Okay. Uro is where I want to be. Blue, green, colorless. I actually don't have a choice. I have to leave up Badlands here, which is perfect because that's the land I was going to leave up anyway. Because it shows Pyroblast or Fatal Push. Yeah, the hits keep coming. Can't stop me now. I'm having a good time. Flusterstorm's on. Wasteland's not devastating anymore. Murktide Regent sucks ass, but I have access to 2 of my 3 basics if I want to waddle that thing. Okay, they shocked in Steam Vents, then played Murktide. Yeah, Murktide resolves. I think that I should not fetch a basic, as I don't have a line to the next one, and there are exactly 3 in the deck. I think I should take this opportunity to get one of my fetch or my shock lands into play tapped. I have 2 green. I definitely need blue. I have 3 black, so it's not Watery Grave. And Breeding Pool is the other one. Yeah, so by process of elimination, it's Breeding Pool. Noble Hierarch. I can play Icefang Coatl and try to dig. Okay. Icefang Coatl, I can play... Wait, no, I can't. Okay. If I play Noble Hierarch, I can't Coatl and protect it with Flusterstorm. If I Noble Hierarch, that asks them to have 2 Lightning Bolts. Okay. I'm playing Hierarch. I think this card's good enough. I could also Fluster and Lutri the Fluster. Okay. I can do my Flusterstorm thing now. Or I could let them try to execute on this. Alright, I guess I want to... I mean, the Icefang Coatl draws a card, which is pretty important to me. It saves me 6 life. Mishra's Bauble exiled off the EI. And if Coatl eats a lightning bolt here, that's a bolt that's not pointed at my Hierarch. I think if I were my Delver opponent here, I would simply let this happen. The Murktide's not dying. I don't have Death Touch, can't get it. Who Thoughtseize? Okay. They came to the same conclusion I did, which is this is not worth a spell in any way. This fetch land can get Mystic Sanctuary if they want their expressive iteration. You draw for Bauble. I draw for my turn. Inquisition of Kozilek, okay. Which they did just see. I could Inquisition them, Lutri the Inquisition, and protect it all with Fluster. Let's see, Thoughtseize, Inquisition, Lutri, protect it all with Fluster. I could Thoughtseize and then Inquisition and protect it all with Fluster. I'm going to start with Thoughtseize. That one can get Force of Will. And Lutri is kind of like a counterspell. Okay, this is fun. I might be able to Fluster 2 spells here. If I blue, red, blue, I'm going to use the Hierarch in case it doesn't survive this interaction. I'm going to Lutri in response and try to copy Thoughtseize. If they fight more over this, this Flusterstorm's going to get multiple spells. Storm count's currently 3. Love to see a Force of Will here. Just fire it in. What could go wrong? Okay, I get to copy my Thoughtseize, and that happens before the Lightning Bolt. Thoughtseize you. Brainstorm in response. I'm going to let that happen. If they're looking for a counterspell, this is great. If they're hiding their best card, it means they can't Mystic Sanctuary this turn, because it'll cost them a shuffle. They saw the Inquisition. Okay. Daze, Force of Will, Pyroblast, Unholy Heat. There's a lot of good cards. I think I take the Force of Will first. Or do I take Brazen Borrower first and dare them to force me? Right, I'll take Brazen Borrower first, and then the Lightning Bolt's going to work. And the other Thoughtseize can take the Force of Will. And then the Inquisition can take the DRC. Okay, then Daze, Pyroblast, Unholy Heat. I have to beat all these cards. Take the DRC. Urrow's in my graveyard. Okay, off we go. Murktide's in play. I did just take 4 from my pair of Thoughtseizes. And Mystic Sanctuary is going to rebuy the EI, I imagine? Okay. That was a genuine try to improve my hand brainstorm. They have so much mana over there. There's the EI. We know the other 3 cards in the hand. Delver exiled. Delver cast. Flusterstorm is alive currently, if I want to use it. And for 7 with Murktide. Gonna need some help here. Blue source off the top. Oh, Snuff Out. This does kill Murktide. I could also hardcast it, save 4 life, and protect it with Snuff Out. Urrow just getting Pyroblasted sucks pretty hard. Mist Hollow Griffin also costs... Oh wait, I can't even cast Urrow. Badlands and Swamp don't do that, so it makes this a little easier. I guess I just play Mist Hollow Griffin, try to put it in front of the Murktide. They have 1 mystery card in hand. Don't know the top of their deck. I think I have to leave Lutri back in case Delver doesn't flip. I can't let them get a free point on me. They can Force of Will on the hard cast if we go to their turn. 1 mystery card in the hand. I think I just need to snuff this Murktide Regent. It's got to go. Snuff Out's a really cool card to copy with Lutri as well, because you only pay the cost once, and then once it's on the stack, you can copy it and just kill another thing. Pretty cool. Oh, you drew Force of Will, you sicko. Pitching the days. All right. Well, we're dead. Just dead on board. Okay. Yeah, they had me covered every way to Sunday on that one. Okay, Pyroblast, Veil of Summer, Carpet of Flowers. We got cards for this matchup. Slaughter Pact? Oh my god. I just want to lose the game to Wasteland, but I'm probably bringing it in. Hydroblast, Blue Blast. Got options on Plague Engineer. Let's see what's not so good here. Force of Negation definitely coming out. I'm not excited about Force of Will either. Yeah, I'm just bringing the whole interaction package down to specific anti-blue 1-drops. I like Duress Thoughtseize Inquisition. Profane Tutor is kind of risky. Spellseeker's cool. Do I need 3 hits for Food Chain? I don't think that I do. Oracle's good. Interaction's good. All my cantrips are good. Endurance is good. Subtlety is cool if you get to hardcast it. It's bad if you have to pitch it, but you're probably in trouble in that spot anyway. I guess the question is, do I still want to be a Food Chain deck under the gun versus Delver? I could just play 4-color control against them, but I think I want the eject button And Chandler is kind of a low impact blue card, so it is a 2-for-1. Tough, tough. I could go value food chain and just make Mist Hollow Griffin, Eternal Scourge every turn. Cast all the creatures I have and cut the Ballista. But Ballista also kills things earlier in the curve. Maybe Thoughtseize should go. Inquisition and Duress still in. Elves of Deep Shadow. And I'm bringing in Carpet, which is kind of a mana dork. Carpet of Flowers is a mana dork. That's my hot take for this league. And I could submit 61 if I can't figure this out in time, but I don't want to do that. The Eternal Witness. I don't know if I have time for all that. Okay, this is where we ended up. Companion is revealed. My mana cast spells in my hand this game, so we're already doing better than last game. I'm going to lead on Bloodstained Mire because that's the one that is the worst for my core colors. They're passing the turn. I'm going to get Zagoth Triome. Just got to get that out of the way. Make that start happening. If I get wasted, I get wasted. Ooh, Inquisition. Cool. Now I can poke and I don't have to run Baleful Strix into Daze or Pyroblast. Just have a look at what you're doing over there. Brainstorm in response. Go for it. That made the Brainstorm awkward. They're going to have to redraw at least one of these cards. Already getting value off the Inquisition. Hey, I was right. Pyroblast is here. Force of Will, 5 lands, and Pyroblast was the keep here. And seeing the Wasteland is sad. My poor Zagoth Triome is gone. But seeing that their hand sucks is nice. And do I want to fetch Watery Grave in the end step? No, I think I want Badlands. Tropical Island. Like, I could fetch a blue source, play out my basic, but already exposed to Wasteland. Fuck it. Tropical Island. This has to be at least a black source, and it has to be a blue source to cast Uro next turn. So by process of elimination, this has to be a blue-black source, which means Underground Sea. Blue-black, Baleful Strix, get in there. What did they hide on top of their deck? Was it a Pyroblast? Was it a Daze? They just redrew whatever they hid with Brainstorm and passed the turn. Baleful Strix is in play. It's now something they're going to have to deal with eventually. And passing the turn. LFG. Yo, I love a Veil of Summer. I could invest in Ignoble Hierarch, so I will. I think that's worth doing. An Ignoble Hierarch, attack for 2, play Walking Ballista, and then see what next turn looks like. Attack for 2, get some Exalted in there. I do have I almost said Urance. My good friend Urance. I have Endurance in my deck that can loop Walking Ballista if I need to find that again. But I think I just want to deploy this homie. Picks off a Delver or a DRC, or demands an answer. Brainstorm was a good thing to hide. And now they have the fetch land to get the full value. I think I can safely assume Mystic Sanctuary is back in their deck at this point. Kraken fetches, and Force of Will pitching Hydroblast. My goodness. They were not ready for that. I'll take that exchange all day, every day. Must be trying to power out a Murktide, that would be my guess. Okay, EI. It's a solid one as well. Soul Guide Lantern. Well, fuck you for that. I was here with the Uro. Trying to make a plan. Okay, Soul Guide Lantern. In my ass. That also gets rid of Walking Ballista forever. Sure. Okay, deck. Let's figure something else out. Oh, sick. Love a Spellseeker. I'm going to attack for 2 first. Get that out of the way. And I'm going to play Spellseeker. I'm going to get the Tainted Pact. Start moving towards my other combo. I have so many cool spells in this deck. I'm getting the Tainted Pact, though. Oh, Manipulate Fate is tempting. Huh. Yeah, Manipulate is a draw 3. I can get Mist Hollow Griffin, the other thing. Alright, I'll get Manipulate. Sorry, Tainted Pact. I'll find you later. Yeah, I think if I had a little more going on, I'd get the Tainted Pact, but Manipulate Fate, just straight up. Draw 3 cards, and exile something I don't want. They've seen Manipulate and Ballista now. If they're dialed in on Legacy, they'll know I'm a food chain deck. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Currently a 1/1. Can become 4/4. at their leisure, though, with the Soul Guide Lantern. Don't be fooled. Not mill a card. I'm really not interested in playing against Wasteland right now. Brainstorm entered the exile zone, and they're going to fetch probably Mystic Sanctuary, pick up an EI, and then cast Brainstorm. Shocking play pattern. Okay, they've done all the things. They could have done this a little better. If they respond to Mystic Sanctuary's trigger with the Brainstorm, then they could get a meaningful Surveil. Now they are not going to Surveil the card they just put there. It's just like a little trick for you folks at home. Okay, now I hope that my Manipulate gets Force of Willed. Blue, black, Manipulate Fate. Let's go. Force it. Force it. Coward. Okay. The Mist Hollow Griffin and the Eldrazi, the Eternal Scourge. And you can't fail to find on Manipulate Fate. It simply says cards. And as long as your opponent can verify there are cards in your deck, which is public information, you do have to exile another card. I don't think I want Birds of Paradise anymore at this stage of the game. I like lands more than I like mana dorks. They could have sweepers. I'll just exile Bird. I still like Duress. I still like all the removal. Yeah, Birds of Paradise can go. Okay, and I did draw a land off of that, hitting my land drop here. I'm holding up Abrupt Decay and Veil of Summer or Flusterstorm, or Veil Fluster, and I don't Abrupt Decay. If I attack with Baleful Strix, they could pop their Soul Guide Lantern and trade. If I attack with Spellseeker, they can pop their Soul Guide Lantern and eat. Okay, Strix, you're going in. Okay, cool. We got Soul Guide Lantern off the board, which unlocks the Uro in my hand. Got this trade. And now maybe I just cast Eternal Scourge. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Trying to imagine what they would do on their turn that Flusterstorm or Veil of Summer are helpful against. And now that their attacker is gone, I don't need to hold up Decay. Like, they'll probably just jam Murktide. None of the cards in my hand interact meaningfully with that. Aggressive Iteration is the play. We knew about that one. Exile to Bauble. It's pretty low impact. That's fine. Another fetch land. And is it time for big mercs? Sure is. Yeah, I expected as much when they were happy to trade off the DRC like that. They just wanted my Death Touch creature out of the way. And story checks out. Breeding Pool. Okay. If I shock this in, I get Veil of Summer and Flusterstorm at the cost of 2 life. There is a combo here of trade off Griffin in combat, which can later be eaten by Uro. Blue, 1, 2. Griffin from exile. I can Flusterstorm a Pyroblast. I can Veil of Summer a Force of Will. I could also Veil of Summer a Pyroblast, but I don't draw a card, which means I don't want to do that. Eternal Scourge doesn't have any sort of evasion or abilities, so attacking with a 4/4 right now doesn't matter. Just going to pass the turn with my blocker hanging out, try to buy some time, get this Uro going, find an answer to Murktide. I have Slaughter Pact, Snuff Out, Assassin's Trophy, Ice Fang Coatl, not close to Death Touch. They targeted themselves with the Bauble and then didn't shuffle. They liked the card they saw. Circle Extraction, my Strixes. All right. They're fishing for information. What's in your hand? What's in your deck? Surgical Extraction is a funny one to bring in against a singleton deck. And they saw Uro. Maybe that's enough on its own. It is funny that they brought in multiple pieces of Graveyard Hate and fired off multiple pieces, and the Uro has just been in my opening hand the whole time, waiting for a window. They now know, though, that I have 2 pieces of soft permission and 1 piece of soft removal, and that's all I got going on. If their hand can navigate this, then they have perfect information to do so. Second Murktide coming. That's pretty scary. Oh yeah. First Murktide gets +3. You're dealing with an 11/11 here. Storm is high enough that I can counter a Lightning Bolt or Pyroblast on my blocker. Oh, block, of course. They still have lethal in the air. It's not great. Uro will pad that a little bit, I hope. Or I could draw some removal. Either Channeler. Okay. That is a flying blocker. I can make a 1/1 bird. not exactly moving the game forward at a breakneck pace if I do that. There are Pyroblasts in my deck. 17 damage. I can go to 19 with Uro. Yuck. We're in a bad spot. Black. I need green and blue in the mix here. Ignoble Hierarch taps from any colors, but not blue. The breeding pool. Deciding if I want to tap the Trop or the Ignoble here. I think it's the Ignoble because that one doesn't make blue. Hey, Uro, get in there. If this Uro hits a land drop and gives me Aether Channeler, something might be happening. Unfortunately, Pyroblast just cleanly counters Uro without me drawing a card off fail. No, I can Fluster a Pyroblast because Fluster will be the third spell. Okay, yeah, we're in there on that one. And okay, hit the land. Aether Channeler's live. I'm gonna fetch the Marsh Flats now, see what fetchables are left in here. There is a Bayou, that's good. That means I can Aether Channeler and hold up the Fluster or the Veil. Channeler's gonna have to make a Bird. Bird is white, so they can't Pyroblast that. Okay, there's Pyroblast, which I'm gonna Fluster Storm. Fluster Storm plays around Daze, where Veil doesn't. If they just have, or they can Daze the original spell. Yeah, okay. Force pitching Delver. So they're now empty. I'm at 1 on board. Cracking a fetch land, unless they have a second Mystic Sanctuary, which does kill me, which would be very unorthodox. Okay. I'm at 1 on the board, and I'm going to pass the turn. They draw Lightning Bolt, Murktide Regent. God, Ponder's so scary. Yeah, they just need a spell or a way to remove a card from their graveyard. Did not shuffle. Good news, everybody. Oh, they found Murktide. They're tapping mana like they have a Murktide. My finger's on the concede button. Yep, that'll do. Okay, that was kind of fun, kind of grindy. Obviously, you know, pairing into one of the top 2 decks in Legacy in round 1 will put us to the test, but I think we kind of held our own there for a while. Murktide Regent, the third Murktide Regent, got the job done. Not that we were in great position against the first 2 Murktides, let's be honest, but yeah, the third one just closed it out. GG, on to the next round.
You come here to level up at Magic. To level up as a software engineer, check out the new YouTube series Dev Better, hosted by the founder of 7-Factor Software and Magic player, Jeremy Duvall. 7-Factor's small teams of high-performing engineers build custom mobile apps, APIs, and highly scalable systems for Fortune 500 companies and ambitious startups with great ideas. If you'd like to hire 7-Factor, or maybe join their team, contact them through their website at 7factor.io. And don't forget to subscribe to 7-Factor's YouTube for every episode of Dev Better.
I'm on the draw in round 2 against Syracuse. Whole city. I'm playing against the whole city of Syracuse. I know several people from there. I wonder if I know this opponent personally. I'm going to keep my hand. I've got the food chain. I've got the payoff. That's the hard part in my singleton deck. I also have Force Blue card. We're gaming here. All right. It's Oops All Spells on a Mull to 5. Find the pressure point. I hope it's right here. I'm forcing this. Just deciding what I'm going to pitch. I actually think it's Uro. That's just not going to be a player in a matchup this fast. Spellseeker can get additional interaction. That goes a long way. All right, let's see if they have a second wave. Please don't. Okay, I'm fetching my Zagoth Triome here. That's in play. My colors are set up. Come on, discard spell. Tilt. Okay. Underground Sea. Get in there. Passing the turn again. Come on, deck. Discard spell. Him to Turok. Telling me smalls. Okay. I can Imperial Recruit for... How fast is my kill here? I could Recruit and Spellseeker for... Oh, if I Recruit for Squee, I could Spellseeker for something next turn and cast it. I have Food Chain to go infinite next turn. Spellseeker works that way too. I'm going to Recruiter. Endurance too thick for the Recruiter, unfortunately. I'm going to get Squee and try to go infinite. Hope my deck holds up. Okay, 6 cards in hand. They are very close to critical mass if they're not there already. No, don't do stuff. Pitched a Calling the Weak. Okay. Pitched a Grief, and they have 4 mana, which is the correct amount to do this. Well, show me the deck, I guess. Yeah, I'm just going to look at their deck and then concede. Calling the Weak with Mem Knight. That's some tech that's not in every build. Mox Opals, Shield Spheres. Okay. Yeah, they're pretty hard in on this Calling the Weak strat. Ball Therapy, confirmed. From Monolith. Wow, they're going fast. I count 2 Cabal Therapies. No Bridge from Below. That's worth noting. Okay, so if I had just let the original one resolve, I would have won because they would not have named Force of Negation in the blind. This is Oracle. Dread Return. Okay, yeah, it's all there. I can concede now. All right, their build's more all in than the stock build is. People, every time I play against Oops All Spells, people in the comments are like, bring in Plague Engineer, name Illusion, their deck doesn't work. But Bridge from Below stops that from being a plan. But now it actually is a plan if they don't have Bridge from Below. Bring in all my graveyard hate, bringing in my counter, or my discard spell counterplay. I don't want Dosan and Defense Grid here. Force of Vigor is interesting because if they're on a plan that involves Memnite, Shield Sphere, Chrome Mox, Mox Opal, I might actually be able to meaningfully hurt their mana. Snuff Out doesn't matter. Fatal Push doesn't matter. This is where they get me with the Tainted Swarm pivot. But I didn't see any route to green mana in their deck, except for the Lotus Petal. So probably not. Every cantrip, every discard spell, every way to speed up my deck. Corrupt Decay, Assassin's Trophy. So these are all my green cards that do a similar thing that Force of Vigor does. I'm going to cut Squee. He failed me, he's out. I do want my Ballista. Subtlety is actually freaking dope against this deck. Recruiter's good. Uro, pitches to Endurance and all my forces. All the discard. Icefang Coatl, probably not necessary, though it is blue and green for all my pitch things. Food Chain is so much slower without Squee in the deck. Like, Recruit for Squee is a self-contained Food Chain infinite, and you can't recruit for the other 2 exile monsters, but Squee is pretty bad otherwise. Maybe this match is just not about Food Chain, and I'm going to need to control them. Awkward if true, though. Food Chain is green, so I'd rather cut Recruiter. Okay. Here we are. I would like to play first. Oh, this is not good. I'm going to have to send this. It is turn 2 Spellseeker, but that doesn't get anything that I care about. I'm going to send this. Okay, this one has a Flusterstorm in it. I'll keep. And Tainted Pact is here, which can dig for outs. I'm going to send the Eternal Scourge and just Bloodstained Mire go. Hope that Flusterstorm lines up against what they're doing. They have draws where it doesn't, for sure. Bloodstained Mire is destined for an Underground Sea. I guess if they pass, I would get Zagoth Triumph. Who passes a kept hand? Thoughtseize, huh? I'll Flusterstorm this to hide the information. Underground Sea and Flusterstorm. I might still die right now. If their hand is like land drop, Memnite, all payoff creature. It wasn't all that. Tainted Pact is an instant. If I need to pact for a way out, I can do that. So I'm just going to pass here. I have blue cards I can pitch to whatever the first force variant is that I find. Passing. Do I want to value pact right now or just fetch Zagoth Triome? I'm going to fetch Triome. Ooh, okay. That's an actual force. I'm going to cast Ponder. Baleful Strix, Birds of Paradise. Where does this go? Baleful Strix is a redraw. Bird pulls me ahead. Yeah, I guess I can... Now that I drew a force naturally, I can deploy Bird here. Just didn't do anything last turn. They're either waiting for protection or aren't quite there. Now I draw the Strix. And Strix draws Watery Grave. Black blue. Strix. I'm going to shock in Watery Grave. That gives me hard cast force. Tosses Oracle off the top is lethal for me. Grief, huh? Okay. Grief isn't that bad because if they take Force of Negation, then I can Tainted Pact for the protection. If they take Pact, I'm holding Force blue card. If they take my blue card, I could just cast the Force or Pact for a blue card. The hand's got it going a couple different ways here. I wonder how crazy it would have been to Pact for Veil of Summer in response to the Grief. Okay, here we go. They're making their move. For a Monolith, 1 card left in hand. Well, alright, I'm gonna Pact for either Subtlety or Force, whatever I hit first. Where are these cards? Just asked if I want to put Lutri in my hand. Where is it? Okay, Lutri, that's not the one. Force of Vigor in my hand. No. Where the fuck are these cards? Magic Online, what are you doing to me right now? Okay. No to Force of Vigor. I'm just reading the words. No to Consider. No to Ignoble Hierarch. No to Food Chain. No to Assassin's Trophy. No to Thassa's Oracle. No to Thoughtseize. Force of Will, yes. I would like to put Force of Will in my hand. Okay. That was frustrating to resolve. Anyway, counter your spell. Okay, now I'm in 1/1 beatdown mode. I can pick up Lutri here. My opponent is empty and does not have 4 mana right away for a rebuild. Lutri's in my hand and the mana to deploy it. It might be better as just 3-2 attack mode. Get this game over. But if I draw any cantrip, I'm going to wish I was holding it. Okay, there's land number 4. The next monster hits. There are 7, or they pitched an Undercity Informer to Grief. So there's 6 hits left in their deck. I'm going to fetch for Breeding Pool. I'll get Breeding Pool tapped and hope to draw thing interactive or a cantrip that I can copy. Just dropping Lutri as 3-2 mode is not irrelevant, but it's also, I don't know. It's tough. Oh no, they're casting spells. Don't do that. Play Grief. Play Grief. Just cast Grief, please. Come on. All right. My opponent hit their 6-outer in their deck with 0 selection before I found any action. And is what it is. This deck plays to draw 1 card and win the game with it. And I did what I could there. I fended off a discard spell, 2 discard spells, and a win attempt. And, you know, they just drew a card off the top of their deck before I did. On to the next round. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and every other format you'll see on this channel. They have multiple customizations so you can view your deck how you want. Text view, stacks, grid, custom grouping by type, subtype, color, light mode, dark mode. However you want to see your deck, they can provide it for you. My favorite feature is you can choose your set printing, make the deck look exactly how you want it to. The deck screen features expandable sections that show you what tokens your deck makes, your recent change history to the deck, stats about mana curve and opening hand distribution, mana cost distribution. You can deal out sample hands and even play test the deck. Island Ponder, you know I'm keeping this one. This site has everything. Follow me on Moxfield.com to keep up with decks I'm playing for the channel and what I'm up to in paper. I'll see you there. On the play for round 3. I've got the Ice Fang Coatl. Let's go. What else do you want in life? I'll play the Zagoth Triumph. Free and easy right now. Not doing anything with that mana anyway. Like some Death Shadow over there. Thoughtseize is going to hit. Expect to lose my Coatl here. This is an aggressive Wasteland deck. I'll play the Flooded Strand and pass. A Brainstorm. And they do have the Wasteland. Yep, go ahead. Got me with the Wasteland. Didn't have a threat to back it up. That's good. Oh, yeah. They are a Daze deck. But I don't care. Let's fucking go. I get Underground Sea to go with the Badlands in play and see what you think about Tarak. This will remove Force of Will and a blue card from their hand, or 2 random cards, or take a land out of play and get Daze out of their hand. Either way, good stuff happening. It'll land in a Brainstorm. Those are cards I like seeing in the graveyard. Had another land anyway. Okay, they have seen the Bloodstained Mire. They've not seen the other two lands in my hand, but I think saving a shuffle effect or Wasteland Insurance is better than hiding this information that I mostly can't do anything with. I want Manipulate Fate. I think Spellseeker, unless I'm trying to solve a very specific problem, is just going to get Manipulate Fate most of the time. The Griffin already being my hand, kind of whack, but I'll get my value somewhere. They fetch Shocked in the end step. They could have played Shadow on their turn and they didn't. Makes me think they don't have that one. Grief. Pitching Snuff out. Are you like a combo pivot, or is Death Shadow just playing Grief these days? You're going to take my Manipulate. The Mist Hologriffin doesn't do anything. The Reanimate thing? Okay, that makes sense. Sure, you got it. And one card left. If they play a Shadow as well, they're actually pretty loaded up. Ooh. I think I want to try to double this with Lutri. I'm going to be greedy. Opponent's down to one card in hand plus whatever they just drew. If I can get paid on the Lutri instead of just having a 3-2 in my hand, I think we're at the grindy stage of the game. And if they Thoughtseize me here, they're going to take the Lutri, not the Preordain. So mostly nothing lost there. Grief attacking. I'm unable to block it currently. Oh, Ponder. We're doing even better now. Which would I rather copy? I can even fetch in between Ponders. Life is good. And, oh, Bloodstained Mire. I have to be careful what this can and can't fetch. It can't get the Tropical Island, which I would like. What lands are in my deck? Bayou. Underground Sea's already in play. Volcanic Island's already in play. Bloodstained Mire lining up really poorly with everything I want to be doing. The Watery Grave is in there. I don't want to lose life, but I might have to. Yeah, the 3 lands that I'd want to fetch with Bloodstained Mire are already in play. All right, still going to play, and I'm going to did have a chance to daze me and didn't do it, but since then they haven't played this last card in their hand for a very long time. I think I'm going to Ponder and copy it. Hold priority, cast Lutri, and cast 2 Ponders. I can shuffle in between them. Fatal Push is a great find. All right, Abrupt Decay, I'll take that. Not shuffle the library now. I am going to fetch and shock for a Watery Grave. I think it's worth doing. Get this Preordain on the stack this turn as well. Or Fatal Push if I find it. Baleful Strix Flusterstorm. Yeah, this was a pretty good run. I have made a land drop this turn. Okay, I'll put the Strix in my hand and cast the Preordain with Flusterstorm land. I'm probably going to bottom the land, put Fluster in my hand. Or they could daze this, that would be great. Bottom the land, draw the Fluster, and pass the turn. My plan is to... Okay. I was going to say I was going to double block Grief. Does them having a second Shadow change that? I don't think so. Like, double blocking Grief is a 2-for-1, but it's also just a good deal. I can answer the 2 Shadows. If they've been sandbagging a Snuff out this long, I'm about to take a million and get blown out in combat. But otherwise, pretty stable. Another removal spell. Okay. I need to leave up blue, black, green. The green's easy. Just don't tap my basic, which can't cast Strix anyway. Blue, black, green. Okay. I'm going to play the Strix, holding up Flusterstorm and Abrupt Decay. I'll cast Breeding Pool tapped. Play Breeding Pool tapped. You can't snuff out a Baleful Strix. Begin the stabilization, and then we'll have to figure out how to win somehow. Here comes the beats. Block Baleful Strix. Abrupt Decay the other one. Leaving up the blue for Fluster. Stability achieved. And they're passing the turn. Light of Hand, what's up? Use Watery Grave for this one. Now I gotta find Uro or some way to start dealing damage. Well, I'll put Verdant Catacombs in my hand. And pass the turn. I can answer their next threat and counter their next spell. Brainstorm's still in my deck. I'm gonna hold on to this fetch land. And Fatal Push. Control deck coming together. No, Murktide Regent. I can beat that. Murktide Regent is here. I'm going to trophy in their end step, so if they do have a basic, which they don't always, but if they do have one, they can't cast a spell right now with it. I'd love a Force of Will here. Just let me get 2 cards off this Fluster. Oh yeah. Force Pitching Force. Fluster the Force. Get that out of here. A Moment of Truth. Do you have a basic land? There is an island. Okay. Imperial Recruiter. What's up? Let's figure out what this does. Okay. Red. Effectively colorless. And Squee returns forever. Like, I could cast from exile or graveyard if I get Squee. But I don't have double red this turn anyway. Recruiter time. What generates value? Oh, Snapcaster Mage is pretty good. Eternal Witness. What do? Eternal Witness gets back most things. Or like, I mean, anything. that was a stupid thing to say. Eternal Witness. Getting back Lutri. Or getting back Coatl. Getting back Manipulate. Ooh, okay. I think I want to Eternal Witness, Manipulate. 1, 2, 3. I don't have enough mana to do all that this turn. That's the kind of banger that'll make this game last a long time in my favor. Okay. Fetching with Tropical Island, and then Eternal Witness, get back Manipulate. This Manipulate is just solidly draw 3 cards here. So I'm worried about Murktide Regent out of them, but that's the only thing. Like, their ground creatures are pretty well covered. Just Squee can block Death Shadow forever. And I want to leave my red up for Squee. Blue. Colorless. Dialing. Eternal Scourge. And there's got to be some card I don't care about here. Force of Negation, probably. Or is it just Marsh Flats? Just get a land out of the deck? Yeah, I think it's just Marsh Flats. Rid of that. Miss Hologriffin's already in my graveyard. Drew Subtlety. Give me that. Back for 3. This makes Death Shadow bigger, but I have Death Shadow beat anyway. Subtlety's awkward because if they rip Murktide Regent right now, and I can just deploy Subtlety anyway. Yeah, that doesn't matter. Okay, I'm just going to pass. 1 mana short on playing Eternal Scourge plus the Subtlety. Nice. All right, we're in there. This is the type of deck we can definitely outgrind. I like Plague Engineer. It's just a Death Touch body I can put in front of this opponent. Veil of Summer is great. Carpet of Flowers is great. Pyroblast kills Murktide Regent. Slaughter Pact kills Murktide, but not Death Shadow, not Gurmag Angler. Love how it kills Murktide, but not any of their other stuff. Let's see how this shakes out. Force of Negation, I don't need. Force of Will, I actually think is fine in matchups like this, but could also just go fair and try to beat them on the board, which I think is a reasonable thing to do. Eternal Witness was great there. Excited that that worked out. Aether Channelers, 2 blockers. I'm always reaching for Squee. Maybe Squee just doesn't belong in the deck. I don't know. But the Imperial Recruiter fills in a lot of gaps, and Squee works well with Recruiter. I'm going to leave Squee alone. All the removal's important. Profane Tutor is kind of slow if I don't suspend it on turn 2. So, I mean, it's not that bad. I think it's a cut, though. If I board out Snuff Out, I'm down 1 answer to Murktide, but I'm bringing in 2 answers to Murktide, so I'm up 1 overall. And none of these cards kill Death Shadow. I need the rest of my deck to do that. I do love having Tainted Pact and Oracle available. I mean, Duress is medium. I do like the idea of checking their hand, beating up on them, but I brought in Veil and 2 Pyroblasts. I still have all the other discard. And their creatures are more important than their spells. This is a matchup where if I stay alive long enough, I win. Which is not true of every matchup. Okay, here's the plan. Okay, there's Elves of Deep Shadow that I considered boarding out. I have a turn 1 mana dork, even if they discard me. That they would be discarding the Plague Engineer if they have a Thoughtseize. They do have a Thoughtseize, so we're going to say goodbye to Plague Engineer, almost certainly here. Yep, and I'm going to play Ignoble Hierarch off of Bayou. Oh, that was a good draw, post Thoughtseize. Bayou's the only forest I can fetch with Marsh Flats. Ignoblerino, get in there. Brainstorm from the opponent. This might be a game where I actually cycle Zagoth Triumph. Though I could, if I don't draw something else on curve, I could just play Elves, attack for 1, and play Zagoth, and effectively use all my mana in a turn cycle. Ooh, Brainstorm Missile land drop. I think finding land number 5 here has relegated Zagoth to the cycle zone. Play Elves. Attacking for 1 can be a little risky, because that could turn on Death Shadow. Yeah, I'm actually just not going to attack. I have to win the game somehow, but if they're over there missing land drops and stuff, reanimating my Plague Engineer. Oh no. Are these both shamans? Elf, Druid, Goblin, Shaman. Okay. All right. They can kill one of these things. Obviously, the Hierarch is the one. And that was a desperate play that they just made. Asa's Oracle. Okay. A little bit of gas in the tank there. I'm gonna pass the turn. I could value Oracle. Try to set up Food Chain. Maybe I should have cast Food Chain there, but I'm interested in cycling the Zagoth Triumph, getting something going. They're over there sputtering. I don't want to, give them a good force of will target and then not do anything. I'd like to find some kind of removal or just something here. Oh, I'm getting griefed. Okay. I'm not going to YOLO cycle for the Veil of Summer here. Grief's going to take Food Chain on the front, and if they have Reanimate, take Oracle on the back. Food Chain is the scarier card in this hand, though. They pitched a Death Shadow for that Grief. And played a Death Shadow. Okay. I'm going to fetch Tropical Island and cycle Zagoth Triome. Come on, spells. Underground Sea, not a spell. Thoughtseize is a spell. Yeah, I'm going to see what they're cooking with over there. Start with the Thoughtseize. We know it's all spells. Death Shadow, Murktide Regent, Fatal Push. Okay. Murktide Regent is the scariest thing they're doing, but they could double spell if I give them Death Shadow and Fatal Push. How many creatures do I think I can beat here? Probably not beating Murktide Regent no matter what. Okay, I'm going to give them the double spell, though I'm not super stoked about it. And I guess it's time to just value Thoracle. This is a blocking creature and gives me some card selection. Abrupt Decay and Snapcaster Mage, not bad. This does stabilize the board over 2 turns. Oh no, this isn't a Scry 2. It's I get to keep one of these. Snapcaster doesn't do anything. I am going to keep the Abrupt Decay on top. I wish that was the Scry 2. Wasteland, okay. We're working with perfect info here. They got to use every card they have. Let's see if they want to push damage. Nope. They are fatal pushing rather than waiting or doing anything different. 8 off this attack. I'll take that. I'm going to put Lutri in my hand and leave up mana for Abrupt Decay, which I'm not going to have time to copy, unfortunately. But let's hope my next draw is a good one. I'm going to block one of the shadows and then kill the other one. Taking a damage off my mana dork. What year is it? I am dead on board. Need a good spell. How about Fatal Push? Maybe Fatal Push doesn't help. An Eternal Witness that I can't cast. It's too bad. Wasteland, good card. Turns out. Oh, the Thoughtseize, that hurts. I was going to trade with Plague Engineer, go to 1, and just hope my top deck was something that could keep the Shadow at bay. But now that Shadow's too big, that's not a plan that I get anymore. And I don't know how I'm going to answer 2 creatures. Baleful Strix into Fatal Push. A block here. Baleful Strix. Alright, we're dead. Okay. You got ahead of me there. A clutch Wasteland when they need it most. I don't think my deck really changes here. Right back in, same cards. On the play for game 3, oh god. I have Pact Oracle all locked up. Unfortunately, it's against the deck that plays discard spells, but having a removal spell is nice. I'm going to Bloodstained Mire and get the Zagoth. Watergrave, please cast Ponder. Yeah, we got a Ponder. I'm just going to cross my fingers for the next several turns that my opponent does things other than discard my hand. I get the big Zags here. And I could play one of my Shocklands tapped. Yeah, I think that's something I want to do. I don't need to hold up Tainted Pact here. I wouldn't jam Assassin's Trophy into Daze either. Okay, they shuffled the last Ponder, and now they have another Ponder. You know, miss your land drop past the turn would be just fine with me. Goes to shuffle again. Ah, they had the land drop, though. Boring. Okay, but didn't do anything with it. Oh my god, Uro. That's the other part of the deck they haven't seen yet. Let's get fair and weird about it. Okay, Uro shoving this into Daze isn't that bad. It's great if it resolves, though. Uro put Watery Grave into play tapped. And I do have blue, blue, green, green. It's just a matter of getting 4 more cards in my graveyard. Which, if they start casting discard spells, is going to happen. Brainstorm. The control build over there. It's funny they can reanimate Uro, and they lose 3 life, gain that same life back, and they just draw a card. Not a spicy use of reanimate, but it would get them further into their deck if they want to go that route. Fetching Scalding Tarn. No, the Thoughtseize. I had the combo ready to go. Please take Assassin's Trophy because you don't know. Yeah, I have the whole combo here playing around Daze. Boo. Took my Tainted Pact. Somebody plays EDH. Yeah, now they're through their mana trouble. They got removal and stuff. They're ready to party. Walking Ballista, huh? What does that do for me? Not much. I can trophy the Shadow, or I can play Ballista on 1 and put Lutri in my hand. Now that Pact is in the graveyard, I could just Oracle. Yeah, just value with Oracle. Fine. Blue, blue. Value Oracle. Do I want either of these lands? No. Okay, I'm going to decline the Oracle stuff. And I'm going to pop Lutri in my hand. Invest in success. This gives me double Assassin's Trophy in the future, or counter protection from counters on Assassin's Trophy if they only have one thing. I am going to block here. Just save some damage. This is just all Uro food at this point. Brainstorm. I am ready for Murktide Regent. And they would need 2 counter spells to protect it as long as I'm careful with my Lutri. Like, rather than hold priority, Assassin's Trophy, Lutri, try to copy it, you can put Assassin's Trophy on the stack, and if they try to counter it, you copy the trophy out from under the counter, and then you still get a trophy. Hit a Thoughtseize, though, which brings Uro closer to the party zone, but does remove my trophy if they're sitting on Murktide over there. Trophy's gone. Please don't land Murktide me. Second Shadow, not great either. What do we got? Ponder. Can I ponder into Uro? Yes. Blue, blue, green, green. Okay. Ponder, and I would like you to find a discard spell to check for interaction with Uro. Subtlety, not great. I'm going to just shuffle this pile. Thoughtseize? Not a Thoughtseize. Blue, blue, green, green. Okay. If they have a force for this, I'm never getting my graveyard back. But, gotta shoot my shot here. Okay, we're in there. Tropical Island. And I'm gonna play the Ballista on 1. Gives them a Daze target, but it's also a blocker. Okay, we're in there. Operating on thin margins here. Fetchland makes Death Shadow bigger than Uro and bigger than Ballista. I'm at 25, though. Pushing Uro. That was unfortunate. I'm going to block with Ballista and not ping them. I'm just going to block, because if I ping, I take 7 instead of 6 this turn, and then 14 instead of 12 on subsequent turns. It's just dead. We don't need to get fancy here. How about an Abrupt Decay I can double? Oh no, they have the Murktide. They're tapping Murktide mana. This is a lot of power and toughness. Come on, deck. Time for some relief in some sort of form. That's not it. They know about Lutri in my hand. I'm going to play Eternal Scourge. That one will keep coming back or something. I'm scheduled to take 14 this turn. If they have a removal spell, have to Lutri to chomp block. Might have to Lutri to block anyway. Wasteland. Don't know that that does anything. Okay, that's gone. I think I have to hold the Lutri and just hope that I draw some relevant spell. Jumping is required here. This creature doesn't fly. Come on. What am I even looking for? There's not many outs here. Oh. Manipulate Fate, huh? Let's hope they don't have a counterspell as their last card. Okay, black and blue. Need a blue. I think the blue-red is the least likely to bite me. Okay, exile Squee, Mist Hollow Griffin, and some bad card. Is Thoughtseize still in my deck? Yeah, I can get rid of that at this point. And I'm not copying these. I'm trying to draw Abrupt Decay. Ooh, Baleful Strix. Still not helpful. And I'm one short on Uro. Black, blue, or I could this blue and leave up black. Black, blue. And because I didn't make my land drop last turn, I sandbagged the land just trying to bluff interaction, which doesn't make any sense because they're obviously just attacking me anyway. If I had this land, I could fetch, play Uro, and I fetch down to 4, Uro up to 7, block, still dead. And it doesn't mean I played well, but picked apart. Just not quite enough going on here. On to the next round. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. I'm on the draw for round 4. I'm keeping this hand. Obviously it's land heavy. I get to accelerate and draw extra cards. Two of the things that I want to do with my life. Basic Island Ponder. I hope this is a control matchup and not Storm. A control matchup that gives us time to do the things we're trying to do. That's what I want from the world. I didn't want to draw another land either. Flooded Strand to go alongside this basic island. My opponent, a person of class and style. I can't play the Zagoth Triome because I don't have black mana in play. I could play Badlands and just reveal my 4-color nature, or I'm going to use the Bayou and Strix. Brainstorm in response to Strix. Okay. I'm going to see if Strix draws Flusterstorm, and if it doesn't, I'll attack with Noble Hierarch. Ooh, we're getting a fetch in response here. Main deck Pyroblast? Or another Brainstorm. Wow, what's going on over there? Really don't want this Strix to happen? Okay, it happened anyway. Burrows in the draw. That's a great draw when you're sitting on 5 lands. Let's see if we're dead. They were brainstorming like they're a combo deck. Could just get show and told here. Cool. Alright, well, we're super dead. I'm putting in Uro and seeing if I can shake something loose on that. Grizzlebrand's in play. True Subtlety. Get right on time. Thanks for that. I think the Badlands is the one that I want in play. Not that it super matters. Badlands doesn't cast Uro, but I'm not close to casting Uro anyway. Removal spell? Okay. Ponder. The opponent can just draw 14 on a whim here. Mist Hollow Griffin. And do some blocking. Don't shuffle the library. And Underground Sea is still in my deck. I would like to shuffle those other cards. Fetch for Underground Sea. And I can put Mist Hollow Griffin in the blocking brigade alongside Baleful Strix here. Subtlety doesn't bounce from play, it's only from the stack. So this card is not helpful right now. Good chance my opponent just draws 14 and puts Omniscience into play and kills me all in one shot right now. Draw 7. Lotus Petal. Another Lotus Petal. Sneak Attack also does the trick here. Another Show and Tell. Okay, I guess I'm putting in Volcanic Island. I'll put in the Subtlety. I'll try to battle. Nothing to bounce here. Omniscience in play. Casting Sneak Attack with Omniscience. Cast another Omniscience with Omniscience. Brainstorm. And there's still the Grizzlebrand activation. The likelihood I get out of this turn without getting Emrakul is pretty low. Not impossible. We've seen Sneak and Show hit its fail rate many times on Magic coverage and on this channel. But I'm not feeling good. Okay, there it is. You did it. They tricked me with Island Ponder into Flooded Strand. I was lied to. Don't respect me at all. Veil of Summer, Pyroblast, Carpet, Surgical. If I survive one wave, I want to start cutting the breaks out from under it. Pyro and Hydroblast can remove Sneak Attack. My forces are all important here. My fair stuff, like Fatal Push, can go. Abrupt Decay can go. Assassin's Trophy is actually good. That can remove Omniscience. I could combo. I need all my combo stuff to race them. Elves of Deep Shadow can probably take a break. All right, I'm cutting Squee. He's just so medium. Yep, once again, cutting Profane Tutor. I wonder if Profane Tutor and Squee are even worth the slots. I board them out basically every round. Subtlety does not interact with the type of thing they're doing in this deck. They're not really casting their creatures unless Omniscience is in play, at which point Subtletying an Emrakul that's coming in off Omniscience, not really plan, because they just take another turn, draw that draw that Emrakul and get at you. I should probably Force of Vigor. That hits Omniscience and Sneak Attack. Endurance, not super important to the matchup. Gotta make one more cut here. Uro's pretty slow, but it's also a real engine that can win a game when we get to that point. Grix and Coatl feed the plans, feed the pitch spells. Oh, Snuff Out. Hit anything in their deck. Okay. Let's go. Okay, starting on Thoughtseize. Pretty happy with that. Get some action going here. Thoughtseize, yeah. Force pitching Omniscience. Just don't want to play against Thoughtseize. Fair enough. Volcanic Island, Brainstorm. Ooh, old main phrase, Brainstorm. Without a land drop available. Where they play 3 Lotus Petals, Show and Tell, and put in Emrakul with their last 5 cards in hand. There is a Lotus Petal involved. I gotta play the Zagoth Triome. Basic Swamp's not doing anything here anyway. Considers an instant. I can Hydroblast if they put Sneak Attack on the stack. Seiju, okay. That's concerning. I have only Assassin's Trophy in my whole deck that can tangle with a Boseiju. Birds of Paradise into the graveyard. Drew Uro. Why didn't that go in the graveyard? Stupid deck. Inquisition, okay. Show me that. Show and Tell. Okay, yes, this is great. Inquisition just in time to take the Show and Tell. I can counter the Sneak Attack with my Hydroblast. We're in business here, folks. There's Scalding Tarn. Go for the Sneak Attack. Don't be a coward. What could go wrong? Okay. They know things can go wrong. Oh, how about that? Did that go wrong? Should have played your Sneak Attack. Him to Turok. Took the Sneak Attack in the city. That's all the information that I knew. Basic Mountain. Now I got to get something going here. Okay, great. Drawing the land gives me room to jam Uro here and still hold up a Hydroblast, but I was going to jam Uro here anyway. It was just time to make this happen. Unfortunately, because I played my land before Uro, I couldn't cast the Ponder, because then I'd be giving up on a Hydroblast. But if I had let Uro put Flooded Strand into play, I could have pondered and found another land. Okay, gonna leave the Flooded Strand up so I can shuffle Ponder, Force of Will, among the best cards I could find. Now I'm trying to find lands that cast Uro. Alright. Wow. This is interesting. Watery Grave does cast Uro next turn. So if I put Trophy on the bottom, Watery Grave on top, draw Surgical, I can Surgical Show and Tell in their draw step. And then they have to win the game with Sneak Attack, which I have 2 Hydroblasts in my hand for. I'm gonna pay for it here. Surgical, their hand is 2 Grizzlebrands. And Magus of the Moon, Sneak Attack, Omniscience. Yeah, they actually do have to go through. Okay, they have to beat Hydroblast and Force of Will with only half of their win cons. Fetching Tropical Island, back in Watery Grave, and it's Uro time. Blue, green, green. We do have graveyard recursive effects in my deck, so I left a couple in there. A couple good ones. Boseiju doesn't get sneak attack through Force of Will. It's only instants and sorceries. And then once I untap, I'm just shields up forever. 8. Basic Forest. I'm going to attack and use Uro to put that into play. Trigger. Put in Forest. And I double this and hold up Hydroblast because I don't have any red. I have to go all blue on this. I can Sleight of Hand and copy it with Lutri. Yeah, okay. Sleight of Hand. Holding priority. Lutri in response. Blue, blue. Colorless. I'm holding up Force and Hydroblast here. And about to go nuts on card advantage. Eternal Scourge and Food Chain are all here. But my opponent's dead in 2 hits. I should just take the blue card. Sorry, Food Chain. Not even for the content. And grab Eternal Witness. That can pick up the Surgical and knock Sneak Attack out of their deck. Then they have no payoffs. Cunning Wish. Okay. This is interesting. Oh shit. I should have countered this. If they have a Through the Breach, you could get Grizzlebrand into play here. I mean, I guess that's not a huge deal. But, oh, just getting Intuition? Okay, that's good news. This I don't care about. They just Intuition for 3 sneak attacks, lose a bunch of life to do it, and then get countered. That resolves, but you knew that. Cool trick, by the way. Veil of Summer counters Intuition, even through Boseiju, because Intuition targets. You can have the ugly sneak attack. Their hand is Sneak and 2 Grizzlebrands. They would need to draw a mana source, either a Lotus Petal or a red land, to even pay out the sneak attack. A perfectly counterable sneak attack. Counter it. Yeah, okay. We just need to draw every discard and counterspell in the deck. That's what it takes. But I will take it. I will play to that every time. Dress Down is actually one that I didn't look at the first time, but if your opponent sneaks in a creature, you could dress it down and then it doesn't have haste, you don't get annihilated, they can't draw 7 right away. Is there something less interactive than Dress Down in my deck that I could still cut? What does Recruiter do right now? It gets Walking Ballista if I'm comboing out. I could do multi-searches, like Recruiter for Witness to get back Hymn to Turok, Recruiter for Spellseeker for Hymn to Turok, but those are million mana plays. Or just Recruit or Spellseeker. Yeah, no, Recruiter is probably worse than Dress Down here. Okay, back in. Red Blast is pretty good. If I'm gonna have a hand with one piece of interaction, that's the one I want. That hits Show and Tell in the stack, or it can pick off an Omniscience. Oh, am I getting turn 1 Show and Tell? I'm not interested in that opponent. I gotta let you know. Brainstorm. This is an unfortunate spot being on the draw, because I have to leave up Red Blast, but I'd also like to deploy my Mana Dork, but I'm just leaving up the Red Blast. I should have played Misty Rainforest. We've seen Magus of the Moon, and this only fetches Swamp in my deck, and Forest would actually let me just keep playing the game in a way that matters. They played another Lotus Petal and then pondered. Not shuffle the ponder. Okay, that's interesting. They didn't shuffle the Brainstorm and then also didn't shuffle the ponder. I'm getting Zagoth Triome now that the coast is clear. Gotta get myself set up here. Now I have choices. I can play Noble Hierarch and hope that Red Blast holds up, or I could play Assassin's Trophy, or hold up Assassin's Trophy in case they go Sneak Attack instead. I don't think Sneak Attack gets through that anyway. Like, I don't think Trophy stops Sneak Attack. If they have 2 mana, they can get into play like a Soul Land or a 3rd Lotus Petal, then Sneak Attack's just gonna blast me anyway. If they only have 4 mana and it's Sneak Attack pass, I'm fine with that. I did just open up Daze as a thing they could do. Okay, I'm gonna counter this with Volcanic Island. Or at least try to. Flip side here is I could just put in Baleful Strix and keep priority on top of Omniscience, but wow, is that risky and crazy. You have Force of Will. You win the counter war. 2 cards left. I'm gonna put in Baleful Strix. Yeah, I think Strix is the right call. Yeah, they had Omniscience. Shit. But they had the force too, so it's not like I was getting through this, and now they can draw 14 and just find Emrakul. Or just their last card in hand was Emrakul. Jesus. All right. Yeah. That hand was good. Here's the other Pyroblast. Drew on off the Baleful Strix, insulting me. GG's. On to the final round. We got an 05 to dodge. For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop, and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out. I'm on the draw in the final round. Old Island Forest, miles away from Hymn to Turok, close to Baleful Strix and Abrupt Decay. My opponent asked me not to judge them too harshly in the chat. Well, right back at ya. I'm trying to dodge an 05 here. Keep in my hand. Let's hope for a slow control matchup. Oh my god. We're just gonna get initiated the fuck out of here. Well, at least it's Archon, which might be a weird thing to say in my deck full of squabbly, terrible mana, but I'm gonna consider now, because I only get one spell a turn. If I find a counter spell, I want to play it. Ponder. Okay. I guess I'll keep Ponder. At least lets me do something. This feels like the old, wait, stop, I'm hurt on the playground trick. And then, oh, are you okay? Bam, you get punched. Call an ambulance, but not for me. And opponent, take it easy on me. Bam, Archon of Emeria. Maybe don't follow it up though. Just have nothing else. That would be great. Shit. Pass a turn. Delete Spellbinder. Okay. They still don't have the initiative, which is good. But if they kick Ponder out of my hand here, I have no spells I can cast, which is bad. I have to draw basic Swamp if this Baleful Strix is going to come into play. Tough crowd here. Took the Ponder. No surprise there. Ice Fang Coatl. Don't mind if I do. This can trade with the Spellbinder. That might have been the best draw in my deck. Here's where it just gets schmurdered by Solitude and doesn't matter. See, it's pretty bad. And trade with the 3-1. That takes a lot of pressure off. I think if my opponent had a Seasoned Dungeoneer, it would have done it pre-combat to get the Explorer. Haven't found land number 3 yet. And unless it's Basic Swamp, it's not going to help me right away anyway. Ancient Tomb, and okay. The initiative has been introduced. Maybe I should have held the Coatl. Is that possible? I guess. I mean, maybe. But if they have Solitude, I just lose anyway. Yeah, Coatl was my... Oh no, because you get to untap Archon. I forget that 100% of the time. Okay, and now I am behind against the initiative with no land drop to make. We don't need to keep playing this game. Okay, started this league off with one of the best decks in the format, and finishing this league with the other best deck in the format. This is tough. Slaughter Pact, Plague Engineer, and Dress Down are all required. Force of Vigor. Sometimes they have Chalice. They frequently have Chrome Mox. I guess try this card. Force of Negation, probably not great. Oracle Pact. I might need that to get out of this. Duress on the play. What are they going to do with it? What am I going to do with a Duress? If I have it literally turn 1 on the play, I could hit a Chrome Mox and maybe collapse their draw. Their deck is mostly creatures. Duress is on the watch list. I haven't cut it yet, but I'm thinking about it. Profane Tutor, I might actually want. I want all my mana dorks. I want my discard. I want my other discard. Flusterstorm. You're definitely bad. Flusterstorm and Force of Negation. If Flusterstorm and Force of Negation are both definitely bad, then Duress is looking bad too. Duress is definitely out on the draw, but on the play, it's just a way that maybe I can cheese. It's probably going to get cut though. I'll be honest. Okay, Duress is out. I want Recruiter, I want Squee, I want to play maximum in the direction of my combos, which means I don't want to cut Profane Tutor. Endurance is the last worst card here. Endurance or Eternal Witness. Witness might just be too slow. Endurance is at least a surprising body with a lot of heat on it. Big surprising body. There's a joke there. I don't know. I'm not going to pursue it any further. but I am gonna hit submit with this deck that I have. I would like to play first, and give me something good. Subtlety is actually really good. I have to pitch, or I don't have to pitch Oracle. This hand's going nowhere else quickly, but Subtlety does stop the first wave. I guess I'll keep this. This is not usually a Wasteland deck. Like, if I have to pitch Subtlety to Spellseeker to Subtlety, so be it, or Thoracle. But having Oracle and Spellseeker, that's a curve into a turn 4 win. I don't know. Maybe it's insane to say that out loud. My Triumph's in play. Let's go. Opponent kept 7. That's good news. Tell me now. City of Traders. Okay. How about Lotus Petal instead of Chrome Mox? Shit. Right, no green card to pitch here. I would be tempted if I had a green card to fire it off in response to the trigger so it never makes mana. Oh. And passing the turn. I like that a lot. Okay, another blue. But it's also basic. I'm going to put the Bayou in now and pass the turn. They end up with an Archon of Emeria. But not playing a spell here is really interesting. And they didn't flash anything in either. If they commit to losing City of Traders to put Seasoned Dungeoneer on the stack, even through Cavern of Souls, I can beat it. Oh, weird start, weird start. It is a Seasoned Dungeoneer. Now I have to decide if I want to give up on Oracle combo. And I think I have to give up on Oracle combo. Spellseeker just has way more value attached to it. I'm pitching Oracle to Subtlety and being sad. Put the spell on the top or bottom of your deck, please. Good chance it's just back next turn, but for now. Oh, they send it to the bottom. They don't have the follow-up mana to redeploy that. Is there a green spell I can tutor up if I don't draw a green card? Oh my god. I was just talking about how maybe I should Force of Vigor the Chrome Mox, but I could also just Abrupt Decay the Chrome Mox and save my Force. Huh. And if they just go Plains, I'm the initiative now, I'm in trouble. But they didn't do that before. I'm going for it. Abrupt Decay. Get it out. They bottomed the 4-drop because they couldn't replay it. They didn't play a 3-drop before that point. City of Traders into City of Traders makes me think they don't have a better land they could be playing. And there's ways this goes wrong if they just jam the initiative now. Oh, come on. We had a deal. Archon. Okay. They don't have the initiative. I'll take that as a W. 2 cards left in hand over there. I'm going to play Spellseeker. I don't know what spell I'm seeking yet, but I'm going to get a creature on the board and tutor for something. Can't get Snuff out with this. Fatal Push is reasonable. Manipulate does draw a bunch of cards, gets the Griffin in the mix. That's a lot of creatures I can start dropping on him. It is a multi-turn line, though. Slaughter Pact just cleans out this Archon. But not if they get the initiative right now. Then I'm in trouble. Yeah, I think it's just the Manipulate. Hate to be that boring, but I think that is the correct one. Like, even if I get Slaughter Pact, I guess if they play White Plume Adventurer right now, attack me, I Slaughter Pact the White Plume Adventurer, then they don't get an untap. I have to tap all my lands, I poke, take the initiative, and that's a line. I just don't think they have White Plume Adventurer unless they just drew it. They have not played any part of this game indicating that they have that card. Ah, and I drew the fucking Griffin. Come on, you're killing me. Okay, still going to manipulate. Oh, Aven Mind Sensor. All right, I'm going to be exiling the top 3 cards in my deck. Shit. Well, that was pretty good. Exile, Wooded Foothills, Sleight of Hand, and Brainstorm. I think Snuff Out is the best card to leave in my deck here. I drew Force. That's actually really good. Force pitching Griffin. Well, I'll attack. This is at least a trade I'm happy with. Even Mind Sensor, huh? Okay. Got me good on the Manipulate. They saw it coming a mile away because I literally put the card in my hand face up. Okay, deck. Let's get the gas. Oh my god. Okay. Do I just win right now? Oh no, Archon's in play. Fuck. Alright, well, I'm still gonna play Food Chain. I'm going to put you to that test. If this Archon ever leaves play, I can Recruiter for and just go nuts. Okay, that doesn't matter because Archon's in play. Okay, I'm going to spend my next couple turns forcing whatever they add to the board, pondering for an answer to Archon, and then trying to win. On deck. Oh, that answers Archon as well. Okay. I guess Recruiter isn't that reliable with Mind Sensor in play, so I have more than one problem I gotta solve here. 3 of their Swords to Plowshares are already spent. Endurance. I'm gonna target nobody, because Uro is a card in my deck. And Solitude pitching Amiria's Call. Okay. This doesn't kill Archon. It does get 2 more cards out of their hand. I gained 3 life, so I ended up taking 1. That was their spell for this turn. Right, not exactly how I wanted that turn to go, but not bad either. Come on, removal spell. Birds of Paradise. Ponder. Removal spell. Okay, Slaughter Pact. What do I do with this? I can put Bloodstained Mire into play, draw Slaughter Pact next turn, slaughter the Archon, and then go off with Food Chain all at once. It's not perfect because of the Mind Sensor, but I mean, I don't hate my odds here. I have the free Force of Will, unless they can remove Food Chain at instant speed. Oh, right, the fetch is unreliable too. God, even Mind Sensor just fucking me right up. Okay, I take 4, go to 6, and they're casting a spell, or they're doing something here. White Plume Adventurer. I'm going to force that pitching Mist Hollow Griffin. Finally got to do that in the league. Win or lose, that just happened. Okay, draw Slaughter Pact. This is tough. If I miss on red mana, then I'm not actually doing anything this turn. But this is the play I have, so I'm going to slaughter the Archon. And just A, hope to hit a land, and B, hope it's red. Red land. Oh my god, always had it. Too easy. Imperial Recruiter. Let's see how you do. And I have infinite mana here for whatever comes out of this Recruiter. And I hit Squee. Squee's not what I need. I need Baleful Strix to keep going. Get Baleful Strix in my hand. Exile Recruiter for blue, which casts a Griffin. I now have infinite mana for creatures. It's going to be a little slow, but it's there. I'm going to exile this one for black, or I got to do blue one more time. And then exile Griffin for black. I can play Baleful Strix and then see if this turn's going anywhere else. Black. And I do have to pay for Slaughter Pact next turn. I'll have Birds of Paradise in play and multiple lands. They can't Wasteland me for cheese lethal, if they even play Wasteland. Here's the Strix. Come on, Strix. Hit Ballista. Just full random Ballista off the top. Profane Tutor. That cannot be done with what I have. Now I have a real decision to make, which is, do I pitch Birds of Paradise to take out their Chrome Mox, which has been their only white source for the whole game? And I think that's better than having a Birds of Paradise in play. Okay, yeah. I'm just going to pass here and Force of Vigor in their upkeep. I can't pay the companion cost with Food Chain mana to add Lutri to what's going on here. Force of Vigor. Just target Chrome Mox. Pitching Bird. And let's see what's left over. I have 2 flyers if they take the initiative. I have to pay for Pact, but I have an Air Force, and Griffin can attack. Griffin has Pseudo Vigilance built in. You can attack and then exile it, and then bring it back. Pay for Pact. Okay, cool. This land lets me suspend Profane Tutor. Attack with Griffin. Then exile Griffin, replay Griffin, and suspend Profane Tutor, which turns off Spellseeker. Or Spellbinder. Spellseeker's in my deck. Okay, Elite Spellbinder is just cardboard right now, and they need a white source. And whatever white source they play, if it's a land, it's the last spell they get for a while, because City of Traders dies with it. Slowly grinding ahead here. Mind Sensor also affects the Profane Tutor. obviously. Oh, Snapcaster. Mind Sensor no longer affects Profane Tutor. I'm going to attack with both creatures here. If they trade off the Mind Sensor, I get a wide open Tutor next turn. I don't think they can let that happen. Okay, in we go. 4 damage. This also takes a turn off the clock. Actually takes 2 turns. It would be 5 or 6 hits with Griffin to kill them, and 4 hits with Strix and Griffin. Okay, I can put Lutri in hand, then make infinite mana and Snapcaster and cast something twice if I want to do that. Or I could just save Snap Abrupt Decay. First things first, untap the Griffin. They only have 1 target, so Snap Abrupt Decay doesn't even really do anything. Snap Abrupt Decay gets me... Yeah, Snap Decay gets me Ballista next turn, deterministically, so I'm just holding that up. What do you got? What's the final answer? The final play of the game? Okay, they're zapping in Emeria to try to make something happen here. What is it? What's the answer? White Plume Adventurer. Okay, pretty solid answer, but I think infinite damage beats this. Got 3 cards in their hand, 4 including the planes that they just picked up. Solitude doesn't stop what I'm doing. End step. Snapcaster. Target Abrupt Decay. Abrupt Decay. Kills Mind Sensor. Now I have to do the misery of clicking through Food Chain, but I'm also going to attack and take the initiative first. And maybe I can end this game faster than comboing out, as embarrassing as that is. But Profane Tutor's coming down this turn. Okay, they scooped it up. We got a good sport. They know that a demonic tutor, when I'm this far ahead, is going to win me the game. Okay, we survived that one. It just took an awkward start, backed by my boy Subtlety. I don't know that my sideboard gets better. I'm not going to bring in Surgical Extraction in a deck with only 1 Force of Will. I would not recommend bringing in Surgical against White Initiative, no matter who you are. But certainly not against a deck that only has 1 real way to put an initiative creature in the graveyard. Yeah, I mean, this is what I got. This is the deck. Okay, my hand does not interact at all. I don't think I can keep this. Opponent Snapcap 7. Great. Mulligan. Okay, I have Force of Will, and I can turn to Manipulate Fate. I'm going to keep this in bottom squee. Well, it's not Force and Manipulate. It's Force or Manipulate. Lotus Petal. City of Traders. White Plume Adventure. I play one of these, and you just found it. Force of Will. On deck. You got me started here. Ignoble Hierarch, get in. This creature can attack. The Slaughter Pact doesn't work yet. The Profane Tutor's a long way off. Oh, actually, if they play White Plume Adventurer this turn, I can Slaughter Pact it, attack with Ignoble Hierarch, tutor up a basic, and be going here. Okay. Oh, God. I just straight up fucking lose to Solitude or Swords to Plowshares. Oh no. And I lose if I don't, right? Okay. I mean, I guess I'm all in here. Unless something better emerges, but I don't even know what is better. This Misty Rainforest is teasing me. If I wait a turn to do the same thing, like if I suspend Profane Tutor now, I could just fetch Zagoth Triome, and they get another turn being in the dungeon, but it's fine. I'm going to fetch Zagoth Triome, suspend Profane Tutor. And okay, drawing the land meant I didn't have to YOLO into insta-dead to a removal spell. Let's see if they want to forge. I kind of hope they do. Right, they are forging. Went straight for my life points. That makes Slaughter Pact a bigger hit. And maybe like don't have another creature. How about that? Plains pass? Plains pass. There's the plains. Pass the turn. Okay. They get to untap their creature. I draw. Plague Engineer. Okay. Well, all in. Still dead to a removal spell, but I'm not winning this game if I don't take the initiative right now. Moment of truth. No! They're doing something. Oh, touch the Spirit Realm. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. I get this back, and I'm not just dead. That could have been worse. Okay, my creature comes back. I take 5 here. I'm in bad shape. Profane Tutor comes off suspend next turn. 4 cards in their hand. At least 8 cards in their deck to just kill me. All right, they found one. GG. Okay, so obviously this deck is crazy. It didn't feel 05 crazy, but maybe it was. Cards that I cut every single round were Squee and Profane Tutor. There also might be too many lands in this deck that also has 4 mana dorks. Maybe you could get away with 19 lands. 19 lands with 5 cantrips and 4 mana dorks. Yeah, there might just be too much in the land spot. I mean, mostly like we're trying to execute 2 different combos that don't overlap in a whole lot of ways in the hyperpowered legacy format. One of the fastest, most efficient legacy formats we've ever had, with Delver and Initiative at the top of the format. Like, all of that notwithstanding. And maybe the red splash isn't worth it, but then is Food Chain worth it? The Pyroblast and the sideboard are worth as much or more than the Squee and Imperial Recruiter in the main are. You could focus on being a Tainted Pact deck instead. Get like Limdul's Vault in here, bring back the Wishclaw Talismans and stuff to try to go fast, but I'm already playing all the disruption that those decks can play. Ball Therapy is the only good one that I'm not really playing. I imagine you could go pretty far down the list if you want to max out on discard spells. Like, what, Thought Erasure? Is that what that one was called? The 2 mana Thoughtseize that surveils one. And I guess you could go way harder down that road if you want to focus on combo. Yeah, folks just don't let you mess around in Legacy right now. That's the main problem here. I did work really hard on this list. This isn't 60 random cards. You saw the deck tech. A lot of thought went into every single card in this deck. After playing it, I think the Squee and the Profane Tutor are the most flexible slots. Maybe you want Chrome Mox or Mox Diamond, something to speed yourself up to compete with the other decks. But there's also just the perfectly reasonable argument that now is not the time in Legacy to be messing around with stuff like this. Delver and Initiative, absolutely brutal. Neither one gives you a single moment to stumble, and even if you're doing everything that you want to do, they probably will still just grind ahead and beat you. And the way to answer that is to increase your own consistency and speed, not to play 75 unique cards, or 74 unique cards. Sorry, Lutri. 74 unique cards across your 75. Pastry time, we tried, buddy. We had some great games. We did get to Food Chain combo once. Never got to Tainted Pact combo, but Tainted Pact did come up as a tutor in the one matchup to keep me alive for a turn. That was sweet. Lutri got to copy some spells. That was sweet. And there it is. Sometimes you do your best and you just can't win. But we had a good time doing it. Everybody, thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the Patreon and all the other stuff that supports the channel, and I'll see you next time.